Trying to get you to call for years.
Yeah, well, I can call. Hey, when's it time to eat? I mean, that's what I.
But no, you just want to get kids involved and people as they get older. I mean, I got people that call and send me little short recordings either through email or text mail.
Yeah,
and it doesn't take but just a second to listen to it and type out a message. You know?
Yes.
Most of the time, it's like, probably, are you practicing a lot? Yeah, and I say, well, then take 2 weeks off. You know,
and then quit.
That's
I've heard that about my golf game sometimes and everything.
Yeah,
so,
no, not really. But it is and we have a lot of people come by the shop, and along about right now, usually we'll start having people show up on Thursday nights.
Yeah,
and we'll have a whole group of guys there.
A jam session.
Yeah, tuning duck calls and practicing and learning and doing different stuff.
You do recommend that if you're going to practice and you're driving around in your truck, make sure your wife is not in there with you. You recommend that, right?
I bought my wife a really nice set of ear muffs that complete soundproofing, and people would see us going down the road in my truck. She'd be sitting over here reading a book, and I'd just be, But I get
everybody that rides with Buck wears earmuffs.
You'll never get carjacked if you're blowing a duck call.
No, you won't. Yeah. All right, Buck Gardner, and you can go. The website is
www.buckgardner.com.
That's real easy, and you can go to OLR-Outdoors.com. We've got a link right there. Well, we
do too.
Yeah, we hope we do that. We have this thing set up with our new website, but. Having great fun this morning on Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 79. Let's take a break, come back, and we're going to try to hook up with Frank Martin in California. If we can't, it's awful early out there. I know his lights are not on yet, but if not, we'll come back and talk some more with Kerry Smith and Buck Gardner. Be right back.
You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Power. Let that word sink in for a minute. You crave power. You need power. And at Barton Power Sports, we put all that power right in your hands. Barton Power Sports of Arkansas combines the power of 7 brands from 2 locations into one single company, whose sole mission is to make sure you have the ultimate power sports experience. Honda, Polaris, Kawasaki, Yamaha, Suzuki, Victory, and Argo. Each line standing on its own, but backed by the Barton Power Sports commitment to excellent service before, during, and after the sale. Barton Power Sports is open 6 days a week to accommodate your schedule. No hidden dock fees. What you see is what you get. Your deal, done your way. Now that's power. Barton Power Sports, with locations in Jonesboro and West Memphis. Go to bartonpowersports.com. The power of play.
Hello, I'm Larry Ray, and for years you've heard me talk about my love affair with Gaston's White River Resort near Lakeview, Arkansas. It's a love affair that continues to grow into what I call memory makers, and there's no place I'd rather make an outdoor memory than at Gaston's. I've been a Gaston's regular for over 25 years, and one of my favorite times to visit this world-famous resort is in the fall. Fall offers some of the White River's best fishing opportunities. Whether it's for lunker rainbows or pole-bending browns, the White River has a worldwide reputation as one of the best trout streams to be found anywhere. Only Gaston's offers you more than 2 miles of river frontage. The breathtaking scenery along the White River is a photographer's and nature lover's dream come true. Gaston's enjoying the great outdoors does not mean roughing it. Its cottages are first-rate, comfortable, and spotlessly clean. Some even have large redwood decks plus wood-burning fireplaces. And of course, there's the resort's restaurant, famous for not only its food, but its location perched over the White River. So take my advice, make a memory. Go to Gastons.com or call them at 870-431-5202. Tell them Larry Ray sent you.
WMC Memphis, WMFS HD2 Bartlett Memphis. Go local on 92.9 FM ESPN. Go national on ESPN 790 AM.
Watch the sunrise, new day's dawning, and it's calling you and me, where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee. We've got woodlands, fields, and water. Hey, there is no better way. You can find out all about it on with Larry Ray.
Good Saturday morning. Welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports. Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Visiting in studio with Buck Gardner and Kerry Smith. Greg Ratliff taking care of us, our show producer. And we're going to talk right now to our good friend Frank Barton, who is out in Corning, California. And I'll let Frank kind of explain what's going on out in Corning because he's up to his ears in dogs. I know that for a fact and everything. But our good friend Frank Barton from the Barton Power Sports in West Memphis and Jonesboro, Arkansas. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning, Larry. It's pretty early out here.
I know it is,
morning.
Frank. I know it is. But tell our listeners where you are and what you're doing.
I'm in Corning, California for the 2014 Master National Retriever Club Hunt Test. It's an annual event put on by the Master National Club. It showcases the top master hunter retrievers from all across the country. And this year, we're in Corning, California, having our event. We were in Fall River, Kansas last year and Demopolis, Alabama the year before. But in Corning right now, this is going to be our last day for the event. We started Saturday a week ago. And started with 599 dogs, and we're going to be this morning. We're something under 300 dogs, between 250 and 300. I didn't get my full count last night. That are finishing up 6 series of tests, and some of the better tests that I've seen in a long time at the Master National Club. 8 judges judging 4 different flights, 2 judges per flight. And we've been going at it nonstop now for a solid week. I've been out here for the week before helping them set up the test.
You and your wife, Lynn, are both out there, and I know 599 dogs. That's a lot of dogs, but and I know, but Demopolis was like 800, wasn't it? I mean, it was
711 dogs in Demopolis. Which is the largest performance event in the history of the American Kennel Club. Next year, we'll be going to South Carolina, and I believe next year we'll probably beat Demopolis.
Wow!
When we go back out on the East Coast, but it's a wonderful event that showcases the very best of the hunting retrievers that the American Kennel Club sponsors, and we have a dog out here this year that has passed this event 8 different times. Wow. It's running for its 9th pass.
Wow!
We've only had one other dog in the history of the event.
That's an amazing dog.
Get 9 passes. You remember Sugar?
Oh yeah.
Remember talking about Sugar last year? Well,
yeah.
We've got another dog that might do that this year.
What's that dog's name?
Let's see. That dog is. It'll come to me in just a minute.
That's all. I
think that's old Persistent Pete, isn't it?
Ask me the hard questions.
Persistent Pete. Yeah.
It's early in the morning.
Well, I just like Sugar was a good name, and I just thought that was because that dog was sweet, so to speak. And this one's right out there. We're talking to our good friend Frank Barton from the Barton Power Sports in West Memphis and Jonesboro. He's
Becky Lou's Bayou Beamer.
What was that again?
Becky Lou's Bayou Beamer. It's a Louisiana dog.
It had to be. Becky Lou's.
And Ronnie Lee.
All right. I like Becky Lou's. And I know, Frank, your association with the organization, you got some, you're a big chief muckety muck, aren't you?
I'm the event secretary.
There you
keep
go.
Track of all the dogs throughout the year as far as what they pass and look at their qualifications. They send their entries to me, and I've been doing it for this is my 12th year for doing it. So it's I get to see people. I only see them one time a year. A lot of these folks from all across the country. So it's people ask me. I took off my regular work at Barton Power Sports for 3 weeks to come out here. But it's a working vacation for me, and it's a great event to be to be able to participate in.
Well,
hey Frank, do you know Milton Holcomb from down near Jackson, Mississippi?
I do know Milton.
Yeah. Well, my heart goes out to you.
yeah.
And,
What is that? I mean, he owes you money or something like
no,
that? You had to bring
Milton's
him
a
up?
duck hunting buddy of mine.
Okay.
And he's also I don't know if he's still doing it or not, but he was a judge with you guys for quite some time, wasn't he?
Milton was a judge. He's a past president of the Master National Club and also a field events worker for the American Kennel Club. He's retired from that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is a grueling test, isn't it, for these dogs? I mean, if you
it is. You got to go through 6 series. And,
6, yeah.
They 6 series, and they do 2 land tests, 2 water tests, and 2 what we call combos, a land water test. Mm-hmm. They'll get a total of, let's see, on that 6 series, they're going to get somewhere between 18 and 20 retrieves, depending on the series. They'll have to honor another dog's work on at least 2 of those series and sit still while the other dog's out there retrieving. And Larry, you've been duck hunting with me, and
yes,
we do that all the time. Where I duck hunt, but we have to have several good dogs working with me when I hunt, and one dog retrieves, and the other one has to sit there and watch it.
Well, it's a wonderful.
It's all part of the sport.
It is, and I know. Carrie's got Maggie. I've met Maggie.
I had a Maggie,
and you had a Maggie. I was going to mention that Carrie's got a Maggie, but he's also got a Bud too. He's got a little.
I'm going to have to correct you, Larry. His name is Mac.
Mac. I meant Mac. I was thinking of Buck with his Maggie.
The greatest story.
Yeah, and he's got a beautiful dog named Mac, and you had a Maggie. That's what
I had a Maggie that Milton Holcomb had a Magnum. And Maggie was coming out of heat, but Milton said,
"Well, that's okay."
Anyway, it caused Milton to go off the levee in front of my blind that normally was about 1.5 feet deep. We just dipped out to about 9 feet, and my youngest son was about 8 or 9 years old. He said, "Look out, Uncle Milty!" Bloop. All that was left was his hat.
Frank, I've got this is Kerry Smith, and I've got a question for you. You mentioned a dog that has 9 passes. That's an annual thing, right? This is each year they'll have a pass, correct?
That's correct.
So what we're saying is that dog is at least 9 years old.
No, 10 to 11, 12.
That's what I'm saying. At least 9. We're
incredible.
That's incredible for a Labrador Retriever.
Sugar was 11 years old when
Sugar
earned its ninth pass, and unfortunately for all of us, we lost Sugar earlier this year to cancer.
Yeah.
And but we've
always
we remembered the dog at a function that we had, a workers' party that we had earlier in the week, and we talked about all the dogs that have retired from the event. And we also showcased the dogs. The Master National was real involved in an organization called Canine Cancer, and we supported it and had a fundraiser event for it earlier in the week, because roughly 1/3 of our dogs will be lost to cancer at some time during their life, and dogs that are over 10, about 50% of them will have cancer. So it's
mine have,
and we do our best to try and support folks that are working to lessen those chances.
Well,
Dr. Kathy Menchner, right here in Memphis, is probably one of the finest, oncologists for dogs and other animals with cancer in the world.
Well, it's just amazing when you think about it. And that Sugar, I remember that name, and then I remember Buck's dog named Maggie, and that's how I got Maggie and Mac mixed up over there, because the names. Well, Frank, thank you, buddy. Y'all have a safe trip home with you and Lynn, and thank you for visiting with us on this Saturday morning. We'll be talking to you pretty soon again, okay?
Okay, Larry. We'll see you next month.
All right, buddy. Thank you. All right.
See you.
Frank Barton from the Barton Power Sports in West Memphis and Jonesboro. If you're looking for that new ATV, or maybe you want to check on those Kubota tractors, whatever it might be, stop over and see Frank right across from the dog track over in West Memphis, or He's got all the Polaris models that you want. I don't know if that slingshot is over there yet. I meant to ask him about that, but that thing is amazing. And also go up to Jonesboro, where he's got everything else at his Jonesboro store up there, and that's Frank Barton from Barton Power Sports. West Memphis and Jonesboro, Arkansas, proud sponsor of Outdoors with Larry Ray, along with Gaston's White River Resort, where I go to catch trout on the White River. 72 cabins, an airstrip, all sorts of things going on. This is the special time to be at Gaston's because the fall colors are coming out. A beautiful place to be in northwest Arkansas, northwest Arkansas up there. Of course, the TWRA, we couldn't do it without the TWRA and all the good folks, them. I want to quickly say that those duck dates are coming up, too. Don't forget those duck dates are coming up. Arkansas, November the 22nd through November the 30th, December the 4th through the 23rd, December 26th through January the 25th. In Mississippi, November the 27th through January the 25th, and statewide in Tennessee, November 22nd, 23rd, and the 29th of November through January the 25th. And then, of course, Reelfoot's, it's got its own world at Reelfoot. So they have their own schedule up there and everything. But appreciate the Barton Power Sports, Gaston's, the TWRA, and welcome aboard in November and December. Buck Gardner game calls. All right, we're going to take a break. Greg Ratliff take us out of here, and we'll come back and wrap up today's show about a big event that DU's got coming on. Some more conversation from Kerry Smith and Buck Gardner. We might have some more music. I don't know. It just depends on how his lips are doing on this Saturday
man, I'm
morning.
ready.
You are ready?
I'm keyed up.
You know, I gave up the trumpet after 13 years because I could not triple tongue. I played it through college and everything else. And I picked up a duck call one time, and the guy asked me, could I triple tongue? And I said, no, I couldn't do that. Couldn't do it in college. I could double tongue.
Well, that's okay. That's all you got to do.
But I actually triple tongued on the duck call, and I couldn't do it on my trumpet. It was very discouraging. You know, I could have made a fortune in band just playing the duck call instead of the trumpet.
See my truck? I've got a little violin out there. I'll go get it.
That's a fiddle for you.
Yeah,
not a violin. All right, let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry. We'll be right back on ESPN 790.
You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. What kind of legacy will we leave when our days upon this earth are gone? Some of my fondest memories growing up were the times my dad took me hunting or fishing. Spending time with him outdoors was magic. I'm Don King for your Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, inviting you to enjoy a Tennessee outdoor adventure. Share the experience with someone you love. Whether your passion is hunting, fishing, boating, or wildlife viewing, our state has it all. Visit our website at tnwildlife.org or download our new app for your smartphone or tablet by searching TWRA on the go, and let the legacy of your outdoor adventure begin. Our legacy.
Hello, I'm Larry Ray, and for years you've heard me talk about my love affair with Gaston's White River Resort near Lakeview, Arkansas. It's a love affair that continues to grow into what I call memory makers, and there's no place I'd rather make an outdoor memory than at Gaston's. I've been a Gaston's regular for over 25 years, and one of my favorite times to visit this world-famous resort is in the fall. Fall offers some of the White River's best fishing opportunities. Whether it's for lunker rainbows or pole-bending browns, the White River has a worldwide reputation as one of the best trout streams to be found anywhere. Only Gaston's offers you more than 2 miles of river frontage. The breathtaking scenery along the White River is a photographer's and nature lover's dream come true. Gaston's enjoying the great outdoors does not mean roughing it. Its cottages are first-rate, comfortable, and spotlessly clean. Some even have large redwood decks plus wood-burning fireplaces. And of course, there's the resort's restaurant, famous for not only its food, but its location perched over the White River. So take my advice, make a memory. Go to gastons.com or call them at 870-431-5202. Tell them Larry Ray sent you.
Now back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we wrap up today's show in the fastest 90 minutes in outdoor radio programming. And we've been talking today all waterfowl just about, and with Kerry Smith, master woodcarver, and of course Buck Gardner from Buck Gardner Calls. I've knocked that game out. I thought he was a game person, but he's not. So it is Buck Gardner Calls, and his dog name is Maggie, was Maggie, and Mac is his dog, and Bud is his dog, and I'm trying to get all these names correct here and everything. But anyway, it's good to have Merle with us in the. Buck with us in the studio.
Thanks, Larry.
Yeah, thanks, Larry. It's Charles is my really name, So, hey, there's a big event coming up. You didn't.
Lorenzo.
Yeah, Lorenzo. Big event coming up on October the 30th. The Germantown Cordova Sportsman's Dinner, and that's going to be at Opera Memphis. How about that? I've never thought I'd see a DU event with a lot of quacking going on at Opera Memphis. You need to be there, Buck.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. You can use your opera talents out there.
Actually, I had big help from a lady opera singer blowing a duck call long years ago.
Well, that's a whole other story.
But we won't get into it now.
We'll talk about that next month, all right?
Wow.
Yeah, let's do that.
In November.
He's so talented.
Yeah, he is at that. But, hey, we're happy to have with us this morning Ashley Ward. Yeah. She's the chairman of DU's Germantown Cordova chapter and also the DU's grassroots promotional coordinator with us this morning. Good morning, Ashley.
Good morning. How are y'all doing?
We're doing great. I always like to talk ducks, and I know this is kind of a special event, particularly since it's going to be at Opera Memphis. Is there any particular thing we need to wear? I mean, do we need to dress up like opera people?
Oh. No, you can just wear just a standard outfit that you would normally wear to the Ducks Unlimited banquet.
That's good. I was getting kind of nervous right there.
I know.
But tell us,
having to dress in opera, your best tuxedos. No, just your regular clothes. The great thing about having it at Opera Memphis this year, compared to having it at national headquarters, is Opera Memphis holds 300 people. So we're hopefully going to be able to pack the doors out this year with some more people and make this event, even better than years past. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It'll be fun to have a change of scenery too.
What's going to happen? What's going on at the chapter banquet this year? You're going to give away some things. There'll probably be shotguns in there someplace.
Yeah, we've got a few shotguns. Higdon, they always hook us up with some really great decoys. So they're going to be there this year with they've like I said, hooked us up with some really great deals. Their decoys are really great. We got some things from Avery, just a lot of cool things. Get you all geared up for hunting season.
And you're going to have different levels of tables. So tell us how to get in touch with you guys and maybe get a table.
Yeah, so we've got the half table, which is what we call our wood duck table. We're selling those for $650, and you get 5 entries to the event, and also the person who buys the table will get a 45-quart Yeti, so that's great. And then also our other table that we're giving away is the canvasback table, or selling, which is $1,500. 10 entries to the event, and a Remington 1187 to the person who purchases the table. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
pretty good deals there.
And you get something for besides all the things that's going on. You also get that, and that's almost get your money back just about for a lot of these things. But you do have some single tickets for $50, right?
Yes, sir, we do. We have single tickets for $50 or a couple for $75, and then can't forget our green wings. We've got them for $20.
And you get a membership.
Yep, and you get a membership, a dinner, and a membership. So it's gonna be a good time.
And that's at Opera Memphis on October the 30th. That's a Thursday night. Doors open at 6 p.m. So how do they get tickets to this, Ashley?
Listen, they can get online. That would probably be the easiest thing for them. Or if not, you can give me a call or John Walker. And if I need to give the numbers, I definitely can do that.
Yeah, give me those numbers. We're going to post these on my website.
Okay, great.
Too. All right.
My number is 601-410-3843.
Okay.
And John Walker's number is 901.
All right.
647-2213.
Okay, that's Ashley Ward at 601-410-3843. And John Walker at 901-647-2213, right?
That's right.
All right,
Y'all
Ashley.
give us a call.
All right, thank you, Ashley. Have a great day. Thank you for being with us. We'll talk to you, all right?
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right, y'all too.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. That's the Germantown Cordova Sportsman's Dinner. Thursday, October 30th at doors open at 6 p.m. at Opera Memphis, and that's a pretty cool place right there at Humphreys Boulevard and Kirby. I go by it all the time on my way to church, so I see it a whole lot. So, and again, Kerry, we're dealing toward getting down to the nitty gritty right here.
I mean, are we?
Yeah, it's painting time, right? As you get ready for the wood duck, the beaver
pond woody.
Yeah,
and a majority of that duck has 100 lines burned in per inch. Now, now before I can get to that place, though, I have to carve the bird, and then I have to sand it. And I start out with about 100 grit sandpaper, and I go from 100 to 220 to 320 to 400, 500, and then 600.
Good night.
And that's how I'm able to pack in all of those lines that are there. And by the way, we've been talking website back and forth.
Yes.
Let me give a plug for my website because I have art in there, and I also with some of the things that I do, I have I talk about my chronic pain and art.
Give it to them.
It is www.thebirdcarver, THE bird carver.
Okay.
Thebirdcarver.com.
And that'll get you all the information about Kerry's business and what he does and what he deals with and everything. Of course, you can go to www.buckgardner.com and find out all the information from Buck, and then hopefully we'll have our website back up and running, OLR-Outdoors.com. Really soon. It may be already posted today. I don't know. I haven't looked at it this morning, but will do. Let me tell you about next week's show before we close out today. Of course, we'll have Ron Wong in studio, Bill Cooksey, the editor of the Mid-South Hunting and Fishing News, and I'm glad that Bill will be in with us next week. We're also going to talk to Sammy Lee and John Merkowitz. They are the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame board members, and we're going to tell you who's the newest member of the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame. And you're going to recognize a lot of these names on that. And, of course, we're also going to talk to Pro Ott Defoe out of Knoxville, Tennessee. He's going to talk about Terminator's new fishing lures that are out there, including, I love the names, the Cotton Candy and the Blueback and the Hot Olive. I think if I should be one of the name makers because I love to do those.
I can't believe when I started and called a duck call,
Yeah.
A double nasty after my wife's older sister Brenda.
Yeah.
Now everybody
I knew you'd work that in.
Everybody is naming everything now.
Now they are now, and it's unbelievable. And we're going to try to hook up with Ken Freeman of the Big Cat Quest and talk to their Angler of the Year, Larry Muse. Of course, we'll talk Marty Marbury of West Tennessee Tourism, Billy Lindsay of Lindsay's Resort of the Little Red River. That's all on next week's Outdoors with Larry Ray, right here on ESPN 790. And I know, Buck, as you get ready and get your Duck Club ready and things along that line, folks might not realize that, you're based right in here at Memphis at the old Defense Depot.
Yeah, Old Army Defense Depot right there just north of the interstate on Airways. And
you can usually find Buck in there if you can get through security or something.
Not hard.
It's not hard to find. Just ask them where all the duck calling noise is coming
That's
from.
Right. Just if you come during daytime, just see Edward and say you're here to see Buck.
And he'll know that.
He knows right where to see
But
him.
if you go and tell him you're looking for Merle, you might have a little trouble, right?
Nah, you never know.
Does he know it?
Yeah, he knows what my real name is. With a name like Edward, what do you think?
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
All right, can I hold that blue one right there?
No.
I can't.
No.
You can't even touch it.
You know.
Is there one of them that I could hold?
Yeah, hold on just a second. Let me let you have this.
All right, let me have this one. This is the one I really wanted to look at anyway.
I know.
Because it's the pretty one.
Don't read everything that's on there, though.
Don't read it.
Don't read that. No,
don't read that. How about this drawing on there?
That is it's hand done by me and my laser engraver.
Really?
Well, that's laser engraved on there.
I know, but you did it?
No, Larry, I just pushed a button.
But you held it, didn't you?
No, I went round and round on a little axis, fourth axis.
You gave it its final touch, though.
Well, actually, I put that in a vibratory tumbler 2 different ways.
The what now?
A vibratory tumbler.
We never used that word on Outdoors with Larry Ray before. Can
That's
you
not
say that
nasty.
again?
That's not nasty either.
No,
Vibratory.
Vibratory tumbler.
Gary said it. Vibratory tumbler.
Yep.
Does everybody in your business have a vibratory tumbler?
No.
You've got one of the few vibratory tumblers. I'm trying to say that many
I
times.
have three of.
You have three tumblers.
I have three of them.
Three of those vibratory tumblers.
And you know what they do?
Where do you get the vibratory tumblers from?
I get them from a guy. I get them from the Lord. I get them from Dan Lord out in California.
You're serious?
I'm serious as a heart attack, man.
And everybody has
what they
these.
do is not everybody uses them.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm divulging a big secret here.
You are a vibratory tumbler.
Well, it eliminates wet sanding.
Yeah.
And polishing on duck calls, which is, if you're making duck calls, it's a huge bottleneck.
Wow. Well, see, you learned something right here. Vibratory tumbler. And
he uses it to take a bath from time to time. That's where he
tumbles
gets all
around in
cleaned up.
there.
It
That's
just
right.
goes brrrr and goes round and around.
We've never had that noise on this show before either. So. All right, we're going to get out of here. Greg Ratcliffe's ready to roll. Kerry Smith, thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Larry.
Buck Gardner, thank you for being with me. Can you play us some music, Greg?
Play us a little tune
as we ease on out of Outdoors with Larry Ray, and we'll talk to you next week. And as I mention all the time, it doesn't cost an extra cent to be a good sport. And God bless the USA.
God bless America. Amen.
You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. What kind of legacy will we leave when our days upon this earth are gone? Some of my fondest memories growing up were the times my dad took me hunting or fishing. Spending time with him outdoors was magic. I'm Don King for your Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, inviting you to enjoy a Tennessee outdoor adventure. Share the experience with someone you love. Whether your passion is hunting, fishing, boating, or wildlife viewing, our state has it all. Visit our website at tnwildlife.org or download our new app for your smartphone or tablet by searching TWRA on the go, and let the legacy of your outdoor adventure begin. Our legacy.
Power. Let that word sink in for a minute. You crave power. You need power. And at Barton Power Sports, we put all that power right in your hands. Barton Power Sports of Arkansas combines the power of 7 brands from 2 locations into one single company, whose sole mission is to make sure you have the ultimate power sports experience. Honda, Polaris, Kawasaki, Yamaha, Suzuki, Victory, and Argo. Each line standing on its own, but backed by the Barton Power Sports commitment to excellent service before, during, and after the sale. Barton Power Sports is open 6 days a week to accommodate your schedule. No hidden dock fees. What you see is what you get. Your deal, done your way. Now that's power. Barton Power Sports, with locations in Jonesboro and West Memphis. Go to bartonpowersports.com. The power of play.
WMC Memphis, WMFS HD2 Bartlett, Memphis. Check out 92.9 FM or 680 AM for the biggest local sports shows like The Chris Vernon Show. Weekdays, 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. This is the Memphis Sports Network, 790 AM.
The views and opinions of the hosts or guests of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of the management or staff of Intercom Memphis.
WMC Memphis, WMFS HD2 Bartlett, Memphis. Go local on 92.9 FM ESPN. Go national on ESPN 790 AM.
Watch the sunrise, new day's dawning, and it's calling you and me. Where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee. We've got woodlands, fields, and water. Hey, there is no better way. You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Good Saturday morning. Welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports. Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 as we talk outdoors the next 90 minutes. Greg Ratliff is our show producer, pushing all the buttons, taking care of all of us on this Saturday, October the 18th in the Mid-South. And this is going to be a special show. Of course, I always say that, but 90 minutes of just about complete waterfowl talk. We're going to be talking waterfowl on today's show, and I know you're saying, boy, I can't wait for that season to get here. We're going to give you all the dates, have all the information, but two special guests in studio with us on this Saturday morning. My good friend Buck Gardner, champion of champion, duck caller from Buck Gardner Game Calls. He's over there trying to get his equipment all set. He needs a safety pin. I wish we were on. We could video this right now because, yeah, he's now he's pulled out his pocket knife. So I'm really scared of what's going to happen next on Outdoors with Larry Ray this morning. Buck Gardner. Good morning, Buck.
Good morning, Larry. How you doing?
I'm a little worried right now till you get that pocket knife put away, okay?
This is where I hide my weed in this morning.
Okay, yeah. Don't tell that early on Saturday morning, you know. I mean, we got policemen to listen to this show, you know. So, and of course, I mentioned in last week that my good friend Kerry Smith, master woodcarver, is going to be in with us. A great love of duck hunting and the waterfowl, and I had a chance to drop by Kerry's man cave, as he called it this week. Good morning, Kerry.
Good morning, Larry.
All right, buddy. Thanks to have you on, too, because we're going to talk to Kerry and Buck as we go throughout today's show. And, Buck, he brought along some of his toys. He has some toys with him here. He's going to make some music. You know that when we get closer to Christmas, the highlight of the show is always when we bring Buck in and we do Jingle Bells on the duck call. We're not going to do Jingle Bells today. It might be, though. Now, I mean, we could. We might do that because this guy, he had a hit on that. It was on the Gong Show, I think. It was on his first and only album of that. But
You've been talking to my wife.
No. I have not done that or anything. But Buck Gardner's going to talk waterfowl with. Kerry's going to talk about an event that he is part of. It's coming up very soon. And he is doing a special project for this event that's coming up out at Ducks Unlimited, and I know that it's going to be fun. But, Buck, I know this is your get-ready time.
Amen. I'm just, when I leave here this morning,
yes,
we're going straight on over and nail boards and put up limbs and all that stuff, cutting down oak limbs so the leaves don't come off of them.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
I was at church Sunday. We had a chance to took a Sunday off from our church, and we had a chance to go by a different church, and the member was coming out, and he said his group had been over last weekend working too. Yeah, so this is get ready time.
Well, get ready is about as much fun as to get going.
Not according to some people. It depends on how many members of the club get ready.
Yeah,
I mean, you got to share the burden, but this is your place.
Yeah, so it's
it's you.
I don't have any friends right now, but opening day, lots of people.
You'll have lots of friends.
I think Larry and I could be your friend, Buck. I mean, I know that I'm always open to a friend that has a duck club, aren't you, Larry?
Buck knows that I've been over there with my tennis shoes on, so I know how it works.
Larry shows up to hunt and work in tennis shoes.
Yeah, that's right, and eat too. That's there's no doubt about that.
It's like my buddy Danny White, who passed away.
Yes.
He would always show up on work day in ostrich skin boots with stark blue jeans on.
Well, somebody has to witness the work,
Yeah.
and take notes and everything like that.
In other words, he wasn't going to be working very much.
Well, he could
Danny
look.
was a supervisor.
He was a supervisor, and
And Danny loved to complain. The sweetest guy that ever lived. And he just loved to complain about everything to give me a hard time.
well, let me tell you before we get into today's show. Had a wonderful time at the Southeastern Outdoor Press Association big gathering. Ron Wong and myself were over there. My wife Miriam went along. There was over 200 of us at Fontana Village in North Carolina. And if you've never been to Fontana Village, it is quite a destination. I don't know how, it's right there on Fontana Lake. It's Fontana Dam, which is the biggest dam east of the Mississippi or something along there. It's huge.
But the trouble is getting there, and we made it there. We actually drove on the Dragon Tail. It's called the Tail of the Dragon. It's 11 miles with 300 switchbacks to get to Fontana Village. It's on US 129 right out of Maryville. Everybody says don't do it. Well, we did it. We did it going over there. At least 50 motorcycles pushed these two senior adults driving my car up through that place. It was it's famous for motorcycles and things like that.
Is that a Ron Wong deal, the Dragon Tail? Or?
No. It had nothing to do with him. But
so it's new fishing bait.
It's one of the top 3 roadways for motorcycles, and they were everywhere over there. But we had a great time at Seopa, and I'm privileged to come back, and I'll say it right off the front that walked away with some awards. I'm not want to toot my own horn, but I'm going to toot, okay? The radio show itself got 3rd in the Southeastern Outdoor Press Association. That's out of 13 states. I know that 1st and 2nd went to my good friend Wade Bourne.
How about that?
Wired to Fish, and all of us know Wade for many years out of Clarksville, Tennessee, a great Christian gentleman, and he got 1st and 2nd, and I got 3rd, and I was proud of getting 3rd for Outdoors with Larry Ray. And the website, OLR-Outdoors.com, which right now we're working on. We're going to make it so it fits your tablet and all the other devices out there so you can see everything. Well, the website, thanks to Guy Trebo, my webmaster, we got 3rd in that too. In the entire 13 states of the southeastern area, we got the 3rd best website. And that's pretty remarkable, and we really appreciate that, folks out there. And then I was privileged to win first place in the conference site story when our conference went to Johnson City not too long ago. I love Johnson City. I wrote a story for the Commercial Appeal and posted it on the travel page, and it got first place. So 2/3 and a first, not bad for Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Pretty darn good, Larry.
Congratulations.
Especially for a guy your age.
For a guy my age, middle age for a 142-year-old man.
Yeah.
So that's it was a great time at Fontana Village. Got to see the legends of the outdoor riding, Bodie McDowell, all those guys are over there. The Wade, Jim Spencer. There was it was just a multitude of writers and communicators from the outdoor world. We're going to post some great videos. We went to Breakout Day over there on the Friday during the conference. Got to meet a lot of folks in the industry with new products and things along that line. We shot videos of me talking to these people, and we're going to be posting those on LROutdoors.com. I was really amazed, and I know some of the folks that you probably know, were a bunch of them were over there from your side of the business.
Waterfowl business?
Waterfowl business, Charlie Holder from Sure Shot Game Calls was over there. And,
he's working with James.
Yeah, and he is, and we talked a lot about Cowboy Fernandez going in the Hall of Fame. We talked about the Jensen duck calls and things along that line, and so Charlie.
I still got one in my drawer.
You do?
That my wife bought me for Christmas when we got married.
Really?
And James actually, years later, signed it,
You got it?
It's right there in the drawer with the same old Dixie Mallard call that my daddy gave me when I was 6.
I remember that. I didn't know you had a Jensen, though.
I do.
Yeah.
Larry, do you have one? Have you got a Jensen
No,
call?
I do not have a Jensen call.
I have 2. I got 2.
I've got
when I first started out.
2 Buck Gardner calls. I know
Yay!
I
But
can't
you
afford,
got 2?
I can't afford a Buck Gardner.
Oh, yes,
call,
you
do
can. Yes,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
work
you
it out. That wood duck call, yeah, he'll give you that free, but you got to pay him $10 to give it back to him. So I know how that works.
That's what you do with the kids.
That's right. Well, that's a big kid over there.
Yeah.
But you got 2?
I've got 2 Jensens.
Wow.
Yep.
A double read and a triple read.
2 double reads is what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it was really fun because I got to see and talk to some other people that Buck would know over there, and we spent about 4 hours doing interviews with different people that we're going to post on the website. Ron Wong knows how to work that camera, and of course everybody knows I know how to talk. So I was able to get with them. Hobie Boats has come out with a new wonderful fishing boat, a 2-person boat that you can actually. It's really good, and we're going to talk to. We talked to Chris Holmes. He's their pro staff guy over there, and got to talk to him a little bit. Got to talk to my good friend Lawrence Taylor from Pradco, and Pradco has just purchased Bandit Lures.
I'll be darned.
Yeah, and is taken in Bandit Lures as part of their the Pratco fishing family.
Now, is this the same Lawrence Taylor that played for the Giants?
No,
Ross?
this is not
Okay.
the same Lawrence Taylor, but
I'm just
Chris Ross is from
can't-
Bandit Lures.
We
is
can't bring him anywhere. can
no,
we?
no, he can't. No, no.
Larry
he-
knows. Once a year, that's all.
That's it, right? No, we might do it twice.
Okay.
'Cause we want to announce right on today's show, and we've kind of hinted at it, and I wanted to get it right out of the bat here. Come November and December, the Buck Gardner Game Calls will join part of the Outdoors of Larry Ray family here.
Yes, we will.
And we will be really going big time with Buck November, December, which is prime time for you guys.
You betcha, buddy.
I mean, because I've seen the catalogs are out now. Things are coming out.
We're making the new one catalog right now, and we got so many new things for next year.
Really?
I can't even hardly tell you, but I will tell you.
Will you tell me?
You betcha.
On today's show, will you tell me?
I brought you a bunch of them.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because he does have some things over there besides his Diet Coke, you know, that and his pocket knife that he got out earlier and everything. So
And it's sharp, too.
He's brought gifts. He's brought gifts
I
for
did
us.
bring,
Is that
I
what
did
it
bring
is?
gifts.
No, he always bears gifts.
Wow.
He's
Yeah.
he's
Out
a
in the truck.
Santa Claus.
he's a gifted person. I know that for a fact. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, from that. But
Do you, your phone and your little other cute case are orange?
well, that's just the way they came out. They match. you
Okay,
know?
I didn't know if that was like you lost a bet. and you
No,
had
no,
to-
no.
Was there
This
UT
came.
colors or?
This came from my camera case came from the unclaimed baggage place in Scottsboro, Alabama. Okay, they didn't have a red one, and everything. So I had this orange one, and it's easy to see, and it does match my my phone there. You're the first person to actually notice that in all these years.
Well,
you're a very observant person.
I am observant.
Yeah.
In other words, it doesn't have a T on it.
No,
in-
for
in-
Texas, no, it doesn't have a T for Texas on there. Okay, that's the only T that I recognize. Okay, all right, T for Texas.
Should have
and
an
T-
A for Alabama.
Well, no, we don't. We
But
don't, we don't want to talk about that either. We don't talk football on this show.
Okay.
Unless you got Wong here, and all he's going to talk about is that little school in Oxford.
Hey, look, every 20 or 25 years they're going to beat us.
Well, that's the way it is. I mean, Ron, if you're listening this morning, you can take off those Ole Miss underwear now. Okay, you've been wearing them long enough.
That's
and
more,
everything.
that's more than I need to know.
Oh, yeah, right. But we are going to talk today with Buck and Kerry Smith, and also try to hook up with our man Frank Barton. He's in Corning, Alabama. Now you got me thinking Alabama all the time.
Roll Tide.
Corning, California, at the National Retriever Championships out there with 700 dogs, and we're hoping to hook up with Frank this morning. Also, we're going to talk about the a big event that we talked about with Kerry there. We're going to let him kind of explain that to us as we go into the next break, because Patty Kipka, she's the director of Ducks Unlimited National Meetings and Conferences, about an event that's coming up out at DU in the first week in November, which is really hard to believe. It's coming right up. I mean, we're in the middle of October now.
I know.
And I will say the trees were changed over there in East Tennessee in the Smoky Mountains where I was. It was beautiful. I mean, they have had a little bit colder weather than we had, and so you got to see a lot of the tree colors and things along that line. And but I did see more motorcycles I've never seen in my life. And then we're going to talk at the very end of the show about a big event that's coming up that I always like to. It's DU's Germantown Cordova chapter, and DU's grassroots promotional coordinator, Ashley Ward, is going to talk to us about the upcoming Germantown Cordova Sportsman Dinner coming up on Thursday, October the 30th. So, Greg, let's take our first break of the day, then come back, and we'll hook up with Patty and Kerry and talk about what's going to happen out at DU in the first week in November. Buck Gardner in studio, Kerry Smith in studio. Greg Ratliff is our show producer. We'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790.
You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Power. Let that word sink in for a minute. You crave power. You need power. And at Barton Power Sports, we put all that power right in your hands. Barton Power Sports of Arkansas combines the power of 7 brands from 2 locations into one single company, whose sole mission is to make sure you have the ultimate power sports experience. Honda, Polaris, Kawasaki, Yamaha, Suzuki, Victory, and Argo. Each line standing on its own, but backed by the Barton Power Sports commitment to excellent service before, during, and after the sale. Barton Power Sports is open 6 days a week to accommodate your schedule. No hidden dog fees. What you see is what you get. Your deal, done your way. Now that's power. Barton Power Sports, with locations in Jonesboro and West Memphis. Go to bartonpowersports.com. The power of play.
Hello, I'm Larry Ray, and for years you've heard me talk about my love affair with Gaston's White River Resort near Lakeview, Arkansas. It's a love affair that continues to grow into what I call memory makers, and there's no place I'd rather make an outdoor memory than at Gaston's. I've been a Gaston's regular for over 25 years, and one of my favorite times to visit this world-famous resort is in the fall. Fall offers some of the White River's best fishing opportunities. Whether it's for lunker rainbows or pole-bending browns, the White River has a worldwide reputation as one of the best trout streams to be found anywhere. Only Gaston's offers you more than 2 miles of river frontage. The breathtaking scenery along the White River is a photographer's and nature lover's dream come true. Gaston's enjoying the great outdoors does not mean roughing it. Its cottages are first-rate, comfortable, and spotlessly clean. Some even have large redwood decks plus wood-burning fireplaces. And of course, there's the resort's restaurant, famous for not only its food, but its location perched over the White River. So take my advice, make a memory. Go to gastons.com or call them at 870-431-5202. Tell them Larry Ray sent you.
Now back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 on this October the 18th. And I'm pleased to say that everyone that won a prize on our open mic Saturday, on the first Saturday in October, you have picked up your prizes in record time. I am really happy to report that because sometimes I have to take them back to my garage and they become in the vault of treasures of mine. But you folks out there did a great job. Thank you for doing that. Right. And we're in studio this morning with Buck Gardner of Buck Gardner Game Calls, and Kerry Smith, Master Woodcarver, in with us. Greg Ratliff taking care of us with pushing all the buttons. And we're talking to Kerry right now about a big event that's coming up out at Ducks Unlimited, November the 2nd through the 8th, I think. But this person on the line with us right now should be able to fill us in on all the blanks, and that's Patty Kipka. She is Director of DU National Meetings and Conferences. And if I didn't get your last name right, Patty, I've tried. Okay.
You did very well.
Thank you. Well, happy to have you on with us this morning on Outdoors with Larry Ray. And tell us what's going to happen out at DU come November the 2nd.
Well, we have a full schedule that whole week. On November the 2nd, we have Family Day from 1 to 4 at DU. And it's going to be an outdoor fun day. Bring the kids. We're going to have decoy painting. We're going to have fishing in the pond, dog demonstrations, music and dance, art, hopefully have some calling lessons and some theater performances.
And it's an annual affair, right?
This is semi-annual.
Semi-annual.
Yep.
I like that. Just do it when you can.
We do it every other year.
Every other year. That's good. Well, I remember a couple of years ago when it's such an event, and particularly you want the family to be out there and be part of it, particularly on November the 2nd from 1 to 4. Is that right?
That is right. We usually do this at the Shelby Farms Lake, but this year, because of construction, we're going to do it at Ducks Unlimited.
And it's all going to be at Ducks Unlimited, one waterfowl way. And if you can't find it, which I always am blown away that people don't know where DU is and the headquarters are. If you drive out Walnut Grove, just look for the big flag with the duck on it. And it's a wonderful facility. And Kerry is taking part of maybe a special side of this. Kerry, tell them what you're doing.
The main thing that I'm doing, Larry, and I think Patty knows about this. I am donating an art piece, a flying wood duck. And it's hand carved out of Tupelo gum. I'm sure those who duck hunt know those Tupelo trees that they see in the swamps. Well, we use that wood for carving. It is a great wood for carving birds out of, or any other art as far as that goes. But it's going to be a flying wood duck made out of Tupelo gum. The limb that's going to be supporting it is a welded limb that is going to have leaves on it, and the base that is supporting it is going to be a burl maple base, and the wood duck will be painted out of oil paints,
it'll be auctioned off on that Saturday night.
It will be auctioned on that Saturday night at an event that will be held at Wilson Air. Is that correct, Patty?
That is correct, yes. And we're going to have a few different demonstrations where you're going to be doing
Correct.
the actual finishing touches, aren't you?
Right. I think it's is it Wednesday through Friday?
It is Wednesday through Friday from noon until 2 at Ducks Unlimited headquarters.
Right.
And I have had a chance to see this amazing work of art that Kerry is doing, and it is unbelievable with the wings tipped and everything like that. He's on the deadline right now. He's on the clock, so to speak, Patty.
He is.
Wow. And he says he will not be in the room when it's auctioned off because it's become part of him.
I'm sure it has. He spent a lot of hours doing it.
Patty, I'm just going to have to leave when it's auctioned. It's like watching one of my children get auctioned off.
It really is, and we're talking to Kerry Smith, the master woodcarver, also with Patty Kipka. She is director of DU National Meetings and Conferences, about the upcoming Arts Memphis and the Conservation Through Art starts always on the every other first Sunday in November with Family Day, and this year it's going to be at DU headquarters there, right off Walnut Grove and Germantown Road, and that's on Sunday the 2nd at 1 to 4. And then all sorts of things going through the week. So kind of update us what's going to happen during the week, Patty.
Well, actually, that whole month of November, we're going to have things going on.
Okay.
The Doug and Ellen Miller from Castle Rock, Colorado, are huge collectors of decorative decoy. And they're bringing 350 to 400 of these beautiful works of art into our building.
Wow.
They're going to be on display November 3rd through the 28th from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, so during our normal business hours. And if your listeners don't know this already, we do tours of our building for free. We encourage people to come out and see our artwork, or see our carvings, see our everything we have on display here at Ducks Unlimited, and learn a little bit more about what we do. But we will also have the Miller's decoy display here for people to enjoy.
And Patty, I want to put in my 2 cents worth here. These are just beyond beautiful pieces of art. They are exceptional. They are carved by some of the leading carvers in our country. Significant historical pieces. By I know Mark Schultz is. They own one of some of Mark Schultz's pieces, as well as his dad, William Schultz. Mm-hmm. They own some of the Brunet collection of from Jet and from Tan. I've met Doug at some of the shows. The International Wildfowl Carving Association is kind of the governing body that is promoted duck carving and bird carving throughout the years, and these are folks that used to go to the shows, and those pieces would be best of show pieces.
And this is a free, just people can come by and view these things, right, Patty?
Absolutely. It's all free, and we're open during business hours, and we encourage you to stop on by and look at the pieces that are on display.
Well, we're getting kind of a feedback here. I don't know if it's us or you, but I'm interested when you have a collection like this, and I've heard of the Duncan Miller collection, 350 to 400 decoys. How do they come to DU? How are they shipped? Well,
it's very interesting. They are loading the specially made trailer right now, and they're on their way to Memphis. They should be arriving any day now. Mr. Miller has put all this. They have carefully packed all these decoys in it. Some of them are 6 feet tall, is what I understand. We have 2 or 3 that are coming that are absolutely huge. And he specially packs them. He has some help when he arrives here that, every time he transfers these, there is some damage because, and Carrie, you can tell. I mean, these look like actual duck.
Right.
I mean, they look real.
And some of the feathers are paper thin.
Mm-hmm.
In order to carve the wood out to make it look like feathers, it's paper thin, and it's very, very delicate. They're extraordinary, and it sounds like something. Do they own any Granger McCoy pieces, Patty?
Not that I know of, but I don't know the extent of his collection.
Okay,
it's pretty amazing how many, and to bring these in here. These are not 8 guys in a truck coming down here with a U-Haul, because this is you talking about some rolling valuable things coming into Memphis, and just the transfer. So that always, I ask always off the wall questions. Buck, you got a question?
And Patty, tell them about all the other stuff out there. This is Buck.
Yeah.
The gun collections and all the artwork.
We do. We have a great. We have wonderful gun collections. Our dinner gun collection is on display. We have the Bo Whoop gun on display.
Bo Whoop.
We have the artwork. Originals and all the duck stamps in our hallway.
Yep.
There's a lot to see at Ducks Unlimited.
And there are some nice people out there, too.
There are a couple of us, yes.
Yeah, us. I'm glad you put that in. Hey,
Patty's one of them.
Yeah, I know that. And, is there any way, if somebody wants to get involved in this, is it too late to become a sponsor or anything like that? Are you looking for folks that would like to step up?
Absolutely, and be part of the CTA
Yes.
event. You can certainly contact Annie at Arts Memphis.
Yes.
And she can give you more information. And her number is 901.
All right.
578.
All right.
2787, extension 309.
Extension 309, and that's Annie, right?
And that's Annie. And we're also having a sponsor party for all those who are going to the celebration dinner at the Wilson Hangar. There's a sponsor party on Thursday evening, November 6th, from 6 to 8 at Ducks Unlimited. We're going to have some entertainment from Philip Claypool, who is a local Memphis artist.
Yes.
And he's resides, I believe, in Nashville. But Philip's going to come and entertain, and people are going to come and be able to meander through Ducks Unlimited and see this wonderful collection.
Well, it's a great event, and that, again, that number, Annie Bares, Bares, at 901-758-2787, extension 309, if you want to get involved in this great event. Patty, thank you for being with us on this Saturday morning.
Absolutely. Annie's number's wrong. It's 578-2787.
Yeah, is that what I say?
I don't know. You may have said that. I'm sorry.
Well, that's what I said. 578-2787,
Perfect.
extension 309. We got you.
And Patty, I'll call you about some duck calls for the kids.
Okay. Yeah, did you hear that, Patty?
No, I missed that. I'm sorry.
I will call you about getting you some duck calls for the kids.
Thank you so much, Buck.
All right, he'll do that. You got a question before we get?
Patty, I was also going to direct them to, since we're in the modern age of websites and whatnot, Arts Memphis, artsmemphis.org has a special area there with that has conservation, that has details about all of the events that will be happening that November 2nd through November the 8th. And you can just click on the Conservation Through Arts. It's going to be a significant week. 3 people are going to be honored. The Wilson brothers, Spence Wilson, Kim Wilson, and Bob Wilson.
Yeah.
They are folks who have done a lot for the Memphis community. It's a great family that has done a lot. And as well has done a lot for Ducks Unlimited.
And their dad was a heck of a great guy.
Sure was, Kimmons.
Yeah, and that's go to www.artsmemphis.org. Find out all that information. Patty, again, thank you for being with us, and I know it's going to be a great success, and we'll stay in touch, okay?
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right,
Bye-bye.
Patty. Well, let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray. We'll come back and talk some more with Kerry Smith and Buck Gardner on ESPN 790.
Find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. What kind of legacy will we leave when our days upon this earth are gone? Some of my fondest memories growing up were the times my dad took me hunting or fishing. Spending time with him outdoors was magic. I'm Don King for your Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, inviting you to enjoy a Tennessee outdoor adventure. Share the experience with someone you love. Whether your passion is hunting, fishing, boating, or wildlife viewing, our state has it all. Visit our website at tnwildlife.org or download our new app for your smartphone or tablet by searching TWRA on the go, and let the legacy of your outdoor adventure begin. Our legacy.
Hello, I'm Larry Ray, and for years you've heard me talk about my love affair with Gaston's White River Resort near Lakeview, Arkansas. It's a love affair that continues to grow into what I call memory makers, and there's no place I'd rather make an outdoor memory than at Gaston's. I've been a Gaston's regular for over 25 years, and one of my favorite times to visit this world-famous resort is in the fall. Fall offers some of the White River's best fishing opportunities. Whether it's for lunker rainbows or pole-bending browns, the White River has a worldwide reputation as one of the best trout streams to be found anywhere. Only Gaston's offers you more than 2 miles of river frontage. The breathtaking scenery along the White River is a photographer's and nature lover's dream come true. Gaston's enjoying the great outdoors does not mean roughing it. Its cottages are first-rate, comfortable, and spotlessly clean. Some even have large redwood decks plus wood-burning fireplaces. And of course, there's the resort's restaurant, famous for not only its food, but its location perched over the White River. So take my advice, make a memory. Go to gastons.com or call them at 870-431-5202. Tell them Larry Ray sent you.
Now back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Visiting the studio with Buck Gardner and Kerry Smith, and talking waterfowl primarily this morning, but I wanted to spend a little time on this segment. A lot of you folks, and I'm finding out more and more. I've even seen billboards, and I've seen where there's information if any chronic pain disease is out there. And we have a gentleman in studio this morning. Not only is he a very talented master wood carver, but what he does is amazing considering what he's been through. And I know he doesn't really want to talk about himself, but he wants to let people know that there are folks out there dealing with what he's dealing with, and that's my good friend Kerry Smith, who has been through 21 back surgeries. Right, Kerry?
Not only surgeries, but nerve blocks and different kinds of procedures. I think I've been the guinea pig for the neurological community.
When I was in his man cave, he's got his neck brace there. He's got his hand thing there. Explain to our listeners, Kerry, and I know you've been on this show before, and explain what's happened to you since you picked up that Christmas tree.
Yeah, and I'm a big guy, as you and Buck can attest to. I could
6'5" is big, okay?
Yeah, 6'5"
5'5" is big to me, okay?
And
all right.
I think I told you a biscuit away from 300.
Yeah,
yesterday.
I didn't ask you the weight,
Yes,
but you told me that.
I know that feeling.
There are a little over 100 million people in our country, according to statistics. Over 100 million adults in our country that suffer with chronic pain, and that's the latest statistics from the National Pain Institute. There are a lot of folks that just do simple things. Like for me, I picked up a Christmas tree in Christmas of 2001 and ruptured a disc in my back. It has led to all of those surgeries and procedures. A year ago, I had a total lumbar reconstruction where they went in and they removed the disc and put rods and screws and cages and all kinds of things back there in my lower back. I made the mistake in this process, by the way, of looking at my MRI because my back just looks like a snake and the vertebrae are all shifted. It's a mess, and there are a lot of folks that are that way in our country, and they may experience a little bit of pain, and suddenly they find out, well, this pain is not going away. It may be acute to start with, but over the course of time, it persists and it becomes chronic, and then you have all of the struggles to manage the pain, and pain is a multi-billion-dollar industry in our country, just because of all of the different things that are involved with it, and the impact that it has had on me has affected in a number of different ways. I've not only had lower back, I've had 2 cervical fusions. I have had carpal tunnel syndrome, in which they did surgery on both hands and it did not work. So the cervical fusions, and then they wanted to start some work on my thoracic area, and I said, time out. I just want to rethink the direction that I'm headed in. It's something that I live with daily. I get up in the morning, and I meditate a good bit. They're finding out more and more that holistic attempts to manage pain really do work, involving meditation. I'm a minister, and I pray a good bit as well. And I've had some pretty heart-to-heart discussions with God along the way as to, hey, I'm a relatively young man. I've done some great things out there. My wife and I started a very successful social outreach ministry at Carson Newman University, and we have planted churches. And you would think that, gee whiz, and God surely is going to look after someone like me, and it all started falling apart. I've described it to people before that it's almost like watching a horror show that you're starring in.
Yes.
And you're sitting back and you're watching as the bits and pieces of your life fall apart. And the very hands I've carved for 30-something years, I think it's 33 years now, I love it. And I've always gone to a place where it's a wonderful place, but there was a time when my hands didn't work. I've donated a number of pieces to Ducks Unlimited. It was something that I was watching as all of these pieces started falling apart, and the natural thing is to ask why. The natural thing is to get angry with God, and then at some point you come to the place where you see that the stuff that we go through in life is something. It's a part of life. We don't want to admit it, but we're not going to live forever. Our bodies are going to fall apart. And it became a place where like I said, that I began to talk to God about it and to understand that God walks with us in the midst of our suffering. Doesn't matter who we are, we may not realize it, but God walks with us in the midst of the suffering that we go through. And like I said, I've got that nice shop in my backyard, and there was a time and place where it was a place of deep sadness for me, because in my shop I've got blocks and I've got ducks on the wall, and I've got pieces that are not finished, and just all kinds of things that are there. And there was a time that I couldn't hold on to those things. I'm able to do that now. I don't do it without pain, and this gets into the piece that I'm donating for Conservation Through Arts and for Ducks Unlimited. This is a special piece for me. I started it back in April when I found out about the event, and I was asked to donate a piece for this event. The Wilsons are wonderful people. Ducks Unlimited is a wonderful organization. Conservation Through Art benefits Arts Memphis, and it's a great organization. And so this duck has pulled me along. There's a deadline, so I spent a lot of hours on it. I'm now at the place, we're kind of laughing about this earlier. I get to the place with art pieces where I don't sleep a lot. I wake up at all hours of the night thinking, okay, what haven't I done? There's a lot to this piece that is, because you're going to see feet on it. You'll see wings that are extended out, and it's a special piece. Well, I'm going to hate to see it go.
I know we're talking to Kerry Smith, a master woodcarver and a friend of many in this, and know that his journey is. I know where his focus is, and this work that he is doing right now, Beaver Pond Woody. I've had a chance to see it, and I've had a chance to actually watch it grow from where it was and where it is now. This is a flying wood duck. With this is not like sitting down and getting a wood carve and sitting flat. This has got wings. He's got to paint it. He's got to put it in there. Got the leaves and everything like that. And it's become so much a part of Kerry. Would you say, Kerry, this is you've done many, but is this the at the top? I mean, what you've done. I mean, is it?
You know, I've done so many things. I've done a great horned owl.
I know
I've
you
done a red-tailed hawk, a flying Cooper's hawk, canvasbacks, mallards, teal. This probably is the most extensive piece that I have done, and given that it's a wood duck.
Wow.
I think there are right. Wow.
Wow.
I think there are about 60. I've discovered. I think there are about 60 something colors that you actually have to mix for.
Yeah.
with this duck, and I use oil paints, and nothing is squirted straight out of a tube.
That's right.
Everything is mixed by hand, the color, and I have actual ducks that I will hold up to daylight that I will compare to what I'm doing and the mixing of colors, and I have a knowledge of all the different colors, what makes, like for example, the brown that's on a green-winged teal's head, the brown and the green that's there.
Yeah.
That brown is not brown. It is cadmium orange, it is vermilion, Chinese vermilion red, and it is ultramarine blue.
You know that, Buck? That's something.
There you go.
Oh, I gave him the formula.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But that's the part of being an artist, and you realize that as you experience, and this is for me, this is a God thing as well. I love to duck hunt, and sometimes the people that I duck hunt with, they get frustrated because when I have a duck in my hands after killing it, I'm sitting there looking at all the feathers and more ducks are flying in, and I'm looking at the beauty of this piece that's there.
You've done that before.
Oh, well, not quite the same way, but yeah.
You have a feel for the ducks, though. I mean,
well, yeah. I mean, when he started talking about a wood duck, the first thing that came to my mind was, it's the most beautiful duck in the world.
It is, yeah.
And it's got so much color, so many different colors in a wood duck, like a rainbow.
Yeah, and that's why this carving, after seeing it first on photographs, and now to being up close and personal with it, to see it like that.
I can't wait to see it.
Well, we're going to talk some more with Kerry as we go through this morning, but I wanted him. There are websites and things along that line for people to learn more about chronic pain too. I know that you have probably, you've checked everything out. You are Dr. Kerry Smith. I know after what you've been through.
There are just so many. There's so many tools that are out there. And amazingly enough, though, there's nothing that is curing people.
Yes, yeah.
In other words, there's not a magic pill that people are taking and it's making them better. There's a lot of discussion right now with narcotic pain medicine. I'm sure everybody has read that and seen. Mm-hmm. My opinion is if those folks, those politicians, that if they had loved ones that were going through on a scale of they talk about your pain on a scale of 0 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
If they saw their loved ones walking around on a scale of 10 pain, they would be trying to do whatever they could.
Sure.
So
my wife deals with chronic back pain and has nerve blocks, and it's all because of her cancer. But it's just.
And that's a part of it. There are people that have neuropathy or nerve pain as a result of cancer or as a result of diabetes, and they just do not know why. They really do not. It's really something.
Well, Kerry, we appreciate you sharing your story right there, and I know that it's touched many people, and you have touched many people in your career from. It's a long way from Georgia and Carson Newman and what God plans for you. But God's in control, and Buck knows that, and I know that. And
Amen.
Particularly in whether you're in the valley or on the mountain, and I can attest to that and everything. Thank you, Kerry. We're going to take a break right now. Come back and switch over to Buck Gardner and see if Buck can give a little bit of his knowledge about duck calling. Going to play a little music for us, give a few tips, talk a little bit about what's going on at Buck Gardner Game Calls, and going to keep this thing rolling right along on Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790.
You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. What kind of legacy will we leave when our days upon this earth are gone? Some of my fondest memories growing up were the times my dad took me hunting or fishing. Spending time with him outdoors was magic. I'm Don King for your Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, inviting you to enjoy a Tennessee outdoor adventure. Share the experience with someone you love. Whether your passion is hunting, fishing, boating, or wildlife viewing, our state has it all. Visit our website at tnwildlife.org or download our new app for your smartphone or tablet by searching TWRA on the go, and let the legacy of your outdoor adventure begin. Our legacy.
Power. Let that word sink in for a minute. You crave power. You need power. And at Barton Power Sports, we put all that power right in your hands. Barton Power Sports of Arkansas combines the power of 7 brands from 2 locations into one single company, whose sole mission is to make sure you have the ultimate power sports experience. Honda, Polaris, Kawasaki, Yamaha, Suzuki, Victory, and Argo. Each line standing on its own, but backed by the Barton Power Sports commitment to excellent service before, during, and after the sale. Barton Power Sports is open 6 days a week to accommodate your schedule. No hidden dog fees. What you see is what you get. Your deal, done your way. Now that's power. Barton Power Sports, with locations in Jonesboro and West Memphis. Go to bartonpowersports.com. The power of play.
Now back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Talking outdoors, we do each and every Saturday morning. Greg Ratliff is our show producer, pushing all the buttons. And we're talking waterfowl today with Kerry Smith, Master Woodcarver, and also our good friend Buck Gardner from Buck Gardner Game Calls. And appreciate Kerry's walking us through what he's dealing with. And let's switch over to Buck Gardner right now, because I know, Buck, these are exciting times at Buck Gardner Game Calls. And not only are they going to come on as a sponsor of Outdoors with Larry Ray in November, December, but he's also gearing up for the season. He's brought along some of his so you have got, tell our listeners as they view the radio from left to right.
Yeah.
Over here on your right, this one here. What is this one?
This is a brand new one. We don't even have a name for you. It's a call inside a call.
It's a call inside a call.
Yeah, just take a look at it, everybody.
Okay, I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
It's blue.
It's blue, and it's got another insert inside of it.
Okay.
That is also blue.
All right.
Different shade. And
oh, I see. Yeah,
out.
Okay. All right.
All your listeners at home, you can see that, I hope.
Yeah, they can. All right, we'll take pictures of this and put it on the website. But this is not, is this out yet, or is this?
No.
Okay, all right. So you've got that
brand
one.
New Larry Ray exclusive.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Okay, I'm scared about that and everything. Okay, then you've got the next one.
The next one is a call. It's a buckbrush. I made it for years, but kind of like backed by popular demand, we're going to start making this call. We quit about 8 or 9 years ago.
Okay, so it's coming back
this
out.
It's coming back, and it's just my old hunting call.
All right, and then the last one over there?
This last one is really something special.
That is a beautiful one.
Well, it's pretty color and everything, but we have a patent pending on this.
Okay, patent pending.
We're going to call it a swap meat, because you can swap the inserts out. Have another insert that slides right in here.
Swap meat?
Meat. It's a meat call.
Okay, it's a meat call.
So it's a swap meat. Everybody goes to a swap meat.
All right.
But the biggest thing is when you're out there hunting, And we've started to show this to people, to customers, to our dealers, and I've had them at a couple of outdoor show days and stuff, and everybody loves it because most of the time you go hunting and people got so many calls around their neck, and they get there and they don't have the right thing, Anyway, this comes with a little pill box. It looks like a shotgun shell.
I see it. Yeah.
And your extra tone board actually fits in that. It'll clip to your lanyard, or you can put it in your blind bag, wherever. But if it's a really windy day, you can blow a single reed call. That if you want to get a little more volume on it, but it'll also get low and soft. And then if it's if you want a general purpose, it's a double reed call as well.
Wow.
And it's just as simple as pulling it apart, taking one out, sliding the other one in, and you're in business.
So that's out for 2014-15 here?
It's out for 15. It'll be out at the SHOT Show.
At the SHOT Show?
Yeah.
In Vegas, okay. You'll be out there. Now, the sounds are, let's hear that one. Let's hear the swap meet.
All right. Well, this is a single reed. It's set up to be a little raspy or a little nastier. But it'll get down there.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Oh, sell my clothes. I'm going to heaven.
And then this is the double reed version.
The double reed version.
And
okay.
It's a softer, sweeter sound. He calls easy.
And then
the old buckbrush is a call that I've changed just ever so slightly, but not the way I originally, because nobody liked it, except for me and a few other people.
Yeah.
But I liked it.
Yeah, okay.
It's my hunting call.
All right.
And now it's slightly easier to operate, and it's just a. Easy call to operate. Clucks like. Just like a duck. Man.
Wow, wow. And that's this Buck Gardner from Buck Gardner Game Calls right here in Memphis, Tennessee. And
now
Buck,
tangled up.
And Buck, I know that these calls, you test every one of these.
I mean, everything we sell, no matter what price point it is, we got 6 young men now. We used to have a real pretty young lady that worked there with us, but that was a heck of a caller. Actually, our head tuner for a while.
Yeah.
And but we got 6 guys that are all good callers. I'm not including that bunch, but they tune every call. They assemble every call themselves, and then somebody checks or tests every single one. We don't put them. I mean, that doesn't mean that everything goes out perfect, but we try real hard to make sure that even the least expensive call or the most expensive call receive the same thing. So.
And I know, based in Memphis, tell our listeners out there, Buck, about a quick thing, how you got into this.
Oh man, it was a hobby. I mean, I was telling you,
Grew up in Whitehaven.
Well, I did. Grew up, went to later grade school there, but when I was raised over in a little town called Aubrey,
Aubrey.
My daddy gave me a duck call when I was 6 years old at Christmas time. I've still got it. I told you, in the right-hand drawer of my desk drawer, and a Chick Majors Dixie Mallard.
Majors, yeah.
And I was told when I would go with my daddy hunting there, he had 7 or 8 buddies. They'd come back to this little shack near where we lived there in Arkansas to change their boots. And these were all guys probably from 25 to 50. And they would say, take this duck call, go outside and blow this duck call until you think we'll like it. And then we'll come back and we'll see. What that translated out to really mean was they had a stove in there and a table and probably some cards and chairs, But it meant go outside so you don't have to hear what we're talking about. And when you think you're going to freeze to death, come on back in. We'll let you get warm. And then if we're done with what we're doing, you can stay. If not, you're going back outside again. So, my daddy had a buddy named Baldy Bolin, who's
Baldy Bolden.
Bolin.
Baldy Bolden.
His son and his wife. I mean, his son. Their family still lived there in Aubrey.
Yeah.
And Baldy used to say, "No, buckshot."
Buckshot. There we go.
That don't sound quite right. You need to go on back outside and practice more, which meant they weren't quite done shooting a breeze or whatever.
So they called you Buckshot, right?
Always.
when you were a little kid. I
Yeah,
mean, it was
my grandfather told my daddy that when he'd come home from work, I'd sit on his foot, wrap my arms around his calf, and put my legs around his ankle, a little bitty guy, and he would walk around, swing me around. And my daddy said, "Boy, Archibald, that boy, he
Archibald.
yeah, and well, he called him that, but Arch, that boy clings to your boot like buckshot mud." And I'm forever grateful, that we weren't cattle farmers or pig farmers. So,
Oh man,
my name may have been something
something else, but it's
but buckshot mud is gumbo.
Yeah, and Buckshot Gardner, of course, that's his middle name is Shot now.
Yeah, well,
So,
my wife changed my name after we got married.
She did change
from
that
Buckshot to Buck.
to just a Buck, and of course,
Wanted to make it Herb, but
Yeah.
it didn't fit. So
do many people know your real name besides me?
no, I mean quite a few people do, but
Yeah.
most of them are I've taken care of. I just hadn't got to you yet.
And I know you're looking.
Isn't it Rochelle?
Yeah,
Isn't that his
no,
name?
my real
Rochelle
real
Gardner?
name is Merle, Merle Floyd.
I wasn't going to tell it. Unless
It's
you
okay,
wanted. All right.
Gardner.
Yeah,
And
For all-
it could have been Enoch Merle.
Enoch Merle.
From the Bible.
Right, yeah.
But they decided to throw Floyd in there with Merle.
So when you go to high school reunions, do people marvel at what you do? Do you have? I mean,
Most of my friends don't marvel at much about me.
because you did play golf in high school.
I did. I played golf. Went to college on a golf scholarship, and have not played golf in 25 or 30 years.
25. Well, you use
Because I came home from the country club in Birmingham one time on a Sunday and said, "Look, honey, I've won the club championship again." And she said, "That's great. I've been home with 3 sick children all week, and now
That was it.
Now I'm sick.
Yeah.
You need to decide whether you want to be a club champion golfer or
a real life,
a husband and a daddy."
Yeah.
And I said, I put that down. But later that evening, I said, "Baby, please don't put me in that same situation about duck calling and duck hunting."
Because you have taken a love of something into a business now. I mean,
Yeah,
because
I
you
it takes a lot of the fun out of your love.
it
and
does, doesn't it? Because
Yeah.
everybody thinks that Buck Gardner just all he does is just go duck hunting, things along that line. But there's a lot of work involved in this.
Yeah, last night when I was there, I didn't stay late last night. I only stayed to 8 o'clock because my grandchildren came over.
Oh, okay.
But I was in the process of reshaping
Reshape.
with the CNC lathe, putting a barrel in there that we decided after we made it, we're going to change the shape just a little bit. So returning that barrel down, and I did about 300 of them last night before I left.
Well, that's part of his life. And we're talking to our good friend Buck Gardner here on Outdoors with Larry Ray. And before we take a break next break, Buck, I've got to ask you, because there's a lot of we do actually have some young listeners out there that would like to become a better caller.
Yeah, I think I work at it every day. I try to get better.
You do, don't you?
Well, sure.
So what advice do you give? Because I know there's so much difference between meat calling and competitive calling.
Yeah.
So let's talk about
calling for ducks. Is what all of us want to be better at. I mean, Carrie's a duck hunter and a duck caller, and and I tell people, if you go duck hunting and you don't call, it's like going to the drive-in movies and not having a